Welcome to Poetry Changes Lives, my book where I put a historical event in context with a poem and a thought for the day. It's quite a unique combination, I think, and it makes a good present to give to anyone, a nice book they can dip into on a daily basis. You can get it from my website, poetrychangeslives.com. I'm also doing daily readings on YouTube at Poetry Changes Lives, and there's a lot more information there as well. Do have a look at that. Today I'm talking about the birth of one of our leading English poets. In 1770, the English poet William Wordsworth was born. He was a career poet. He became poet laureate in his later years and therefore knew all the leading poets of the time. He's always linked to the Lake District where he grew up as a child and lived most of his life. His famous definition of poetry is often quoted. Here it is: the spontaneous overflow of powerful feelings. It takes its origin from emotion recollected in tranquility. Well, I think that's a bit of a mouthful personally. It may be true, but I think poetry is much more dynamic and exciting than that, and I prefer other definitions. Still, Wordsworth is an interesting man. I always, years ago, used to think of him as rather a sort of conventional poet, a good, slightly sort of wordy, but very sort of competent and at times completely sublime and beautiful as well, but very much a sort of run-of-the-mill 18th, early 19th century poet. The romantic Lyrical Ballads, of course, was his great work, which he joined with Samuel Taylor Coleridge to produce. I was surprised later to learn things about Wordsworth I hadn't known. For example, that he was quite a radical political thinker. During his lifetime, of course, there was great turmoil in Europe with the French Revolution beginning in 1789, when he would have been 19 years old. He travelled widely in Europe in 1791 and 2, I think, and of course he was fascinated by the French Revolution and very much supported it. While he was in France, he met a French girl named Annette and proceeded to father a child with her, a girl called Caroline, with whom he kept contact for the rest of his life, which was a good thing to do, of course, but it didn't fit with my sort of idea of Wordsworth, and it made me think differently of him. He met occasionally with his daughter and her mother, Annette, from time to time over the following years. They remained in France, and Wordsworth, of course, went on to marry. He married Mary Hutchinson in 1802 and continued to live in the Lake District with her, and of course his beloved sister Dorothy as well, a sort of marriage, ménage à trois. So his life, his domestic life and his love life was sort of quite complicated, and it's not what I expected of Wordsworth at all. I'd much more have expected it from people, other poets of the time like Byron or Coleridge even. But there we are. Wordsworth also talks in his various poems about a mysterious girl called Lucy, who people today think was probably an imaginary person that he used just to write poems of sort of unrequited love and a sense of loss, but some of them are extremely beautiful. I like them very much, actually, and I'm going to read one now, one of his poems entitled Lucy, which I think shows Wordsworth in a sort of quite a tender light. Here we are. She dwelt among the untrodden ways, beside the springs of Dove, a maid whom there were none to praise, and very few to love. A violet by a mossy stone, half hidden from the eye, fair as a star when only one is shining in the sky. She'd lived unknown, and few would know when Lucy ceased to be. But she is in her grave, and oh, the difference to me. That's a very tender poem, I think, and I like it. I hope you do too. Today I will remember that this day is all I have. Yesterday is gone, and tomorrow may never happen. Thanks for listening.